Hi, everyone. I'm Roy Crystal. I'm talking to you today from my studio in Lexington, Massachusetts, and I'm going to talk to you about why I love photography and share some of my pictures with you that show you the kind of photographer that I am. So I love photography very much. It's been one of my most important means of self-expression over the years of understanding my life, and it permits me to express emotions that I can't put into words. Here's a picture from early in my career. I call it Jim's hand. It's my friend Jim, a gifted pianist, drawing patterns on the window. And it makes me think of all of our efforts to make our mark on this ever-changing, transient world. I began as a documentary photographer. I worked as an environmental planner for many years. I always used photography in my work. And I agree deeply with something that Louis Hine, the wonderful documentarian, said. There were two things I wanted to do. I wanted to show the things that had to be corrected. I wanted to show the things that had to be appreciated. Since 2010, I've been working on an ongoing photographic documentary that I call Healing in Haiti, the work of Agape. It documents the work of an organization, Agape Global Health, for Haiti, that puts on a medical clinic in Haiti. And the next few pictures are from that project. Agape does its work on the island of La Gonâve in Haiti. This is a scene at the port as we arrived in La Gonâve. I've become deeply involved in this organization over the years. And this is one of the things that needs to be corrected. Anza, where we put on our clinics and have our office, is a port city. It's got tidal flats, and people that can't afford to live elsewhere live on the tidal flats, and sometimes they have to move their homes when the tide sweeps in. I document the scenes in the medical clinic. I hear the stories of the patient and see the works of the doctors, and their work for me exemplifies selfless caring for others. That's the meaning of the word agape. I've learned through this long project that documenting can be done in a more personal and poetic way. This is a picture of something I don't fully understand, of a tent city in the year of the earthquake, for people made homeless by the earthquake, that I saw as we drove past in the van on the way to Anza. I've done landscape photography for many years, and I try to express natural beauty and the processes of change and growth in nature. John Keats said something in Ode on a Grecian Urn that moves me deeply. He said, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know." I photographed a lot on the Cape. This is a picture I call Crescent Moon on the island of Lieutenant Island in the town of Wellfleet on the Cape. Natural beauty can surprise us anywhere, so I try to have my camera always at the ready with me. It's a picture I took out the window as we flew down to Haiti one year. I often photograph very close to my home, and it's a picture I call Autumn Leaves that I took in a stream close to my house. Another picture taken close to my home in Lexington of sunlight on trees after a winter snowstorm. Henri Cartier-Bresson is one of the greatest photographers. We owe a debt to him. He came up with the idea of the decisive moment. And he said, "We photographers deal in things that are constantly vanishing. And when they have vanished, there is no contrivance on earth that can make them come back again. Our task is to perceive reality, almost simultaneously recording it in the sketchbook, which is our camera. So I try to capture moments that matter. Here's a picture taken in Antigua of little boys playing in Haiti. And the decisive moment is something we can seek in landscape photography as well. It's a picture of a sudden shaft of light after an early winter snowstorm. Recently, I work in themes, book, and exhibit projects. Edward Hopper said, "Look until you become fascinated. Trust you will see something." And one of the best ways to achieve that heightened awareness is to look for the same kind of thing, to work in a series. So my recent projects include the following: Beauty in Transit, Our Mortal Nature, My Year on the Medicine Wheel, Healing in Haiti, The Work of Agape, Everything is Alive, and my current project is called Peace, the Shalom series. And I have portfolios of all of them at my website, roycrystalphoto.com. Now, the first of these projects, Beauty in Transit, I did as I commuted to and from Boston. For many years, I worked in Boston. I retired a couple of years ago. And there's a beauty in motion and in ourselves moving. This picture is taken on Charles Street in downtown Boston, which faces due west. And the evening sunlight made everything seem kind of frozen in time. A picture taken looking from the Charles Street subway stop on the Red Line over the Charles River back to Cambridge. Another project I did in 2014 to 2016, and I'm still working on as a book project, is called Our Mortal Nature. And this was the year that my mother got sick and died in 2014, 2015. And I tried to make sense of it by photographing throughout the whole year and documenting all the changes that I saw in nature as I went through the year. A picture I took as part of that series called Youth and Age on Cornhill Beach in Truro. I was struck by the youthful energy of the girl and the man who kind of plods along, not seeming to see the beauty of life around him. Again, beauty can strike us anywhere, even in rumpled bedclothes. I am still working on a project called Everything is Alive as a book project. This was recently exhibited at the Arlington Center for the Arts. Thank you very much, all the good people there. It's a wonderful, supportive organization. And what I did in this show was to bring together pictures I took over many years where I felt a kind of aliveness, consciousness in either living things or in inanimate objects like rocks. It's a picture of a herd of horses in Wyoming that seemed to have a kind of a unity or a collective consciousness together. And here's a swan I took on the lower Mystic Lake in Arlington. My current series is called Peace, the Shalom series, and it's photographing to try to convey a sense of peace and showing scenes that convey that, hopefully. This is a picture of Little Diamond Pond in Stewartston, New Hampshire. Here's a picture of the Delaware Water Gap on the New Jersey, Pennsylvania border, the Delaware River. Peace can be conveyed through color, the greens and blues here, and a tranquil balanced composition, like the kind of balance that we're trying to find in ourselves. And in some people, you feel a sense of peace. This is Emily Joseph, who's a young patient in our medical clinic in Haiti. And this picture I call Mrs. Willie Serving. It's Mrs. Willie Bosicote, who was the wife of the pastor, Willie Bosicote, who ran the church where we stay, when we go to Haiti, and she's preparing our lunch. And in this attitude of calm and in service to others, I feel a kind of gratitude, a kind of faith in God and in caring for others, which is a source of strength and resilience that she has, and that I hope you will feel also. And I hope my pictures can make some of that kind of feeling for you. And finally, I want to say, for those of you that do photography, I would love to see if you have a particular favorite picture that you think conveys a sense of peace. Send it to me at roy@roycrystalphoto.com. And the best of them I'll post as part of this ongoing series, the Shalom series, on the website, so we can do something collective together. Thank you very much for your attention.